Hi, I'm Gary, Biker's PhD. Do a follow-up video. Some of the things I said, we go over some of the things, taking the bike apart, what you should look for or know. First off, I would say follow your manual. Make sure you're following it for safety purposes and stuff like that. These are just some things, in my opinion, kind of help you along the way, what to look for or things to do. Anyway, first thing I would say is to, once you get your rocker box covers off, check out your breathers, okay? They're either made out of the steel, or they're made out of aluminum, or they're made out of plastic. The plastic ones throw in the garbage. The aluminum ones, the steel ones are just fine. Throw the plastic ones away, don't use them. And the other thing is I put this thing in high gear, take the spark plugs out. You want to make sure before you remove your rocker box covers that your valves are down, that they're closed, that you're not trying to open a valve. You're going to put a lot of stress on this and twist. You got all the spring pressure that it has to overcome if you're doing that. So I make sure I roll this over with the tire and make sure that the valves are closed before I would remove it, and then I would do the same on the other one. So anyway, that's it for now. Okay, so we got the rocker arm assembly off here. One of the things you want to look at is your pads here and see how worn they are, how they look. These look like brand new. So you could reuse these depending upon what cam you're going to use. They're good rocker arms, nothing wrong with them. A lot of guys think the rollers are a huge advantage. Mainly it's how much lift you're going to run, in my opinion. I did a lot of testing with different ratios and stuff like that. Tried a lot of different rocker arms. The only time I really encourage a guy to switch them to the roller rocker arms is when they're going to run a big cam. You get much over 600 lift or around the 600 lift range, the roller helps. And it's just about what happens with the rocker arm. It starts and then it comes back and goes forward. As you're going down, it like pivots back and forth. So it's rolling, sweeping across the top of that valve a lot more than, what it is. The shorter the lift, the less it sweeps, the longer it does. It's not like it rolls around in a circle. It's just more of a sweeping action. And with the roller, it's easier on the guides and stuff when you get a lot of lift. But there's not a problem with the guides in the twin cams or even the Evo motors. It's not like you're going to wear guides out. I've had guys run 650 lift cams or 660 lift cams and still run these stock ones just because budget issue, and they live fine. The guides live fine, but I don't recommend that. So anyway, that's just my opinion on that. Some things to look for. So okay, a little speed secret with some of these clips. They can be real pain to get off. You have a little yellow clip that has to be pried out first. It goes up in there, so you have to pry that out, and then you got a button you got to push. And what I have found that these come apart really pretty easy if you push them forward like you're trying to install them, then push the button down, and then they'll pull right off. If you pull this out and then you try and hit that button, man, they're tight. They're hard to come off. So that's just a little speed secret. It seems to work with a lot of that stuff. Your O2 sensors, some of those plugs, if you try pushing them on, then pushing the button, and then pull off, most of the time they'll come off real easy. So anyway, hopefully that's a little helpful tip for you when you're taking your bike apart. Okay, so we're getting ready to remove the heads. A common mistake I've seen guys make is they'll just put the wrench on here and they'll take one bolt out, just loosen it all away. Your cases are split. They're two-piece cases. So remember when we were putting them together, I showed you about the torque plates. If you haven't seen that video, watch that video. It explains about torque plates. But your cases can move around like this. I've had guys rip a bolt out, and then rip the next one out, put the next one out, and the next thing you know, they come back and their cases are leaking, or another shop's done it for them and their cases are leaking. I think it's a rarity, but I'd rather just be safe than sorry. So what I always do is I get ready to take the bolts off here. I just give them a little bit of turn, just give them a little crack. Now I'll go around, I'll do the other side. And just keep going little by little until the head's ready to come off. That way it's safe. You're not releasing a lot of undue pressure on the cases, and because we want to keep them sealed up if we're not going to be taking them apart. Even on the motor I'm going to split the cases on, I still do it that way. So all right, there's that.